What's going on, sports fans? We hope you guys are all doing well as we continue to sit at home and have tons of athletes now available to talk to us because there's no practice, no games. One of those guys is Marquez White. He's our next top recruit that we're talking to. He is from Poway. He is headed to Princeton. So same initial, different side of the country. All sorts of craziness going on. Thank you so much for being on with us, man. Hope you are well. Let's talk about that decision to commit. What went into that for you?
So actually at first, my freshman year, I was committed to Syracuse, and I ended up changing my mind the end of my sophomore year, early junior year. And what went into that decision was mostly the academic. Oh my god, had to throw me off like that.
As an alumni, had to put the hat on. Go ahead, keep going.
um, about the beginning of my junior year, I decided I wanted to make a change. Obviously, Syracuse has great academics,
It's all in good fun. It's all in good
right,
fun.
right. But Princeton, I thought was a better fit for me. I wanted a smaller school, not so much a bigger school like Syracuse, because they definitely have a lot of hype around their lacrosse team. But for me, I wanted a stronger academic school and a smaller school, and I feel like Princeton really fit that criteria.
Well, the craziness is that in the world of college lacrosse, Ivy League, ACC, Northeast, that whole area is just kind of in its own world, and it doesn't really matter about size of school or name brand.
Exactly.
And so the lacrosse world in the college sense is you go anywhere in that region and you have a shot at being a national champion and doing something crazy. If you just get, you catch fire at the right time. I jokingly put on the hat. I was not really I graduated from La Jolla High School in 2009. Lacrosse
Okay.
wasn't so much of a mainline sport. It wasn't a youth thing. It was kind of the secondary spring sport for football players.
Right.
I didn't know about it really until I went to Syracuse, got fully educated. I come back, and now it's sort of something that a lot of you guys played growing up as a youth sport, and it's starting to catch on out here. But what are some of the things that you think people still don't know about lacrosse?
Well, as you said, like lacrosse is growing really quickly. It's one of the fastest growing sports in America, in fact. And what a lot of people don't know about lacrosse, I think, is just like the creativity that's like available in the sport. Like, for example, and you can do anything with a stick and a ball. Like that ball is so small, you can put it anywhere in the net, sip it across the field for like 90 miles per hour. It's action packed, and it's like basketball where it's really fast paced. Like there's no pauses, such as like in football, there's like a lot of breaks and like you don't get to play consistently. But lacrosse is just ongoing, just like basketball. So I think that's what a lot of people have learned to like about lacrosse is that fast paced part of the game, and that's what a lot of people don't know about lacrosse too.
Well, I know from what I have seen in at least the postseason, semifinal, final type thing is no lead of 4 or 5 is ever safe.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you've only got a few minutes left, things can happen really dramatically and quickly, like you said, because everyone's
Definitely.
got their own artistic style. For you as a player, kind of introduce yourself then to the Princeton fans, just in terms of what you would like to bring to the team.
So actually bringing to the team this next year, I'm hoping to be a two-way midi. That has become a lot more valuable in the lacrosse world uh, just because there's now the shot clock. For those of you who don't know who like what a two-way midi is, that's like being able to play both offense and defense. And I think my athletic build would be very good for that role on a team. And maybe as a freshman starting off as a defensive midi and pushing transition to play offense as well. But my goal is to make an impact on the team as a two-way midi.
At Poway, you were a multi-sport athlete. You also played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, or maybe speak to some of the younger students out there, middle school kids who have to decide, do they do one sport, do they do multiple sports, about why you thought it was a good choice to do multiple sports and not just focus on one, because you still made it to college, you still get that chance to play
Right.
without having to focus on that single sport.
So for playing multiple sports, it's obviously hard because you're very busy, and there's always an overlap between the two sports that is really complicated to like time manage. But the reason I played two sports is because it makes such a difference in my lacrosse game. Like obviously lacrosse is my main sport, but playing basketball, my my lacrosse IQ increased actually by playing basketball because the example I love to use is when I'm playing basketball, you got a ball like pretty big sized ball, and you're trying to make a pass to one of your wide open teammates. In lacrosse, the ball is 10 times smaller, and making that pass is even easier in lacrosse. So I think basketball has improved my lacrosse game a lot, but it has come with some sacrifices I've had to make by like missing lacrosse stuff in the winter to play basketball.
So obviously, it ends up all panning out for you, and I'm sure that the decision, like you said, was a tough one to go from one school to the other. But when you did finally commit and you signed on that dotted line at Princeton, what were some of the emotions going through your mind?
I knew it was the place for me. Like I was so excited. Making that call to Coach Madelon, my head coach. I was so excited. Like I couldn't hold back my excitement. I kept repeating over the phone to him like, I'm so excited. Can't wait to be a Tiger. Like even though I had 2 more years to wait, I was way more super excited.
So you think you're ready for the cold weather? I mean, have you started stocking up on the gear? Are you layered up and ready to go?
I don't know if I am. I've played in the snow one time, and my hands were freezing. I thought they were gonna fall off, but I think I'll adjust, and they're gonna give us the gear to be prepared for that cold weather.
Well, okay, so you mentioned playing in the snow. How much does something like that affect a lacrosse game?
It affects it quite a bit. Obviously, that first time I played in the snow, I was not prepared at all. I was the typical SoCal boy out there in shorts and like a jacket underneath his gear, thinking I was gonna be good, but I was not at all. It really impacts the game though, just because the stick is metal, so like it's freezing cold. It's like an icicle, and you're trying to grab it with your hands that are basically bare. So like trying to cradle and do all the normal stuff with frozen hands, grabbing like a piece of ice, it's a lot harder than it is in nice weather.
It sounds like a super enjoyable choice then to have that be your sport of choice for college. Okay, I have to ask all of the lacrosse players that I ask, guys or girls, are guys lacrosse goalies mentally unstable?
There's lots of them have a loose screw. Like I love them all, but they definitely have a loose screw.
Yes, they are a necessity. Every team needs a good one, but I see you laugh there, and I want to get a little bit of at why you're laughing there, because I have my reasons for it, but I want to hear yours.
I mean, I don't know why someone would want to stand in front of a 90-mile-per-hour shot while like not knowing where it's going and having the chance of nailing your head. And I swear some of those guys have been hit in the head a couple too many times.
But here's my thing is they are all out there like flexing that they don't even need to wear pads. Some of them are like, I don't even need to wear sweats. I'll wear shorts. And I'm like, nah, man, you don't need to risk your knees getting like shot off by like you said, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
Like we get it. You're badass, man. Like, stay safe. So
Right.
Okay. So I'll tally you down as a yes for you agree with everybody else that lacrosse goalies. We had Tegan Boltman on from Torrey Pines, and I know that's a little bit of a rival for you, but he recommended doubling the social distancing protocol from all lacrosse goalies during this time. So give every one of them 12 feet. I hate to kind of close out on a little bit of a somber note, but if this has been the last time you'll ever suit up for Poway, and worst case scenario, we don't get lacrosse or any sports back this season, what do you think? Either maybe what are you going to miss about the program, or what would your message be to your team or your fans? Just what would be going through your mind?
I'm gonna miss just playing with like my teammates. At first, I was like, oh, okay, just a little break from lacrosse. Hopefully, we'll be back. But now that like it's looking like the season might be ending,
which we're still, I'm not saying this is going to happen.
Right.
I'm just, if this does, that's why I'm asking these questions. But we're all praying that they're going to be back.
We're hoping.
Positive vibes.
If it has ended, like I look back and I see how much I bonded with like my teammates and how much I missed the seniors who graduated. Now I'm one of those seniors graduating, and I know like lacrosse is a super cultured sport. Like I'm super close with my teammates, and I want what's best for them in the future. So like giving back to the team, like when I come back from school, I'm still going to be very much a part of the Poway program, like coming back, working out with the guys, getting them some extra shots, teaching them what I'm learning at college. So I feel like I'm not leaving the program because like in the future, I'll definitely still be a part of it, coming back, being super close with all those guys that are coming through.
So he's always going to bleed green, it sounds like. His name is Marquez. Thank you so much for being on with us. He is another one of the top recruits right now in San Diego that deserves just a little bit of your love and attention, San Diego. Well, you got time to learn about all these great athletes here. Thank you so much for being on with us. We hope to get to see you in person one more time this year at least. And if not, take it easy and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too, Christian.